Have you ever met someone who always wants to be the center of attention? Someone who somehow turns every conversation back to themselves? Someone who appears extremely confident on the outside, but after spending some time around them, you start feeling mentally exhausted? Maybe it's your boss, a friend, a partner, or maybe at times you've noticed a few of these traits in yourself. And that's what makes narcissism so fascinating, because narcissists don't always look like villains. In fact, many of them appear successful, attractive, charismatic, and highly confident. People admire them, follow them, and sometimes even envy them. But behind that polished personality lies a psychological mystery, one that has fascinated researchers for decades. A question that can make us a little uncomfortable. What if extreme confidence isn't always a sign of strength? What if sometimes it's just a mask? Today we're going to explore the psychology of narcissism, inspired by the work of psychologist W. Keith Campbell. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why narcissists crave admiration, why they struggle with relationships, and what is really happening inside their minds. If you watch this video until the end, you'll gain a deeper understanding of this fascinating psychological phenomenon. So let's dive in. Part 1. What is narcissism? The word narcissism comes from an ancient Greek myth. There was a young man named Narcissus. He became so captivated by his own reflection that he couldn't stop looking at it. Over time, that obsession became his downfall. Today in psychology, narcissism means much more than simply loving yourself. Psychologists define it as a personality pattern characterized by grandiosity, a sense of entitlement, an intense focus on oneself, and a constant need for admiration. But this is where many people get confused. Narcissism is not the same thing as healthy self-esteem. Healthy self-esteem says, I have value. Narcissism says, I have more value than everyone else. Healthy confidence helps you grow. Narcissism wants other people to constantly confirm your superiority. And that's a crucial difference, because narcissism is not built on genuine inner security. It's built on the hunger for validation. A healthy person can feel good about themselves, even when nobody is watching. But for a narcissist, that's much harder. They need an audience, and that need influences almost every part of their behavior. Part 2. The hidden engine behind narcissism. At first glance, narcissists seem incredibly confident. They speak boldly, take risks, promote themselves, and often dominate conversations. But psychological research reveals something surprising. Many narcissists are actually working hard to protect a fragile self-image. Imagine carrying an invisible mirror everywhere you go. Every interaction becomes a test. Every criticism feels like an attack. Every disagreement feels personal. This is how many narcissists experience the world. Their sense of self-worth depends heavily on external validation. Compliments feel like fuel. Attention feels like oxygen. Recognition feels like a necessity. But when that validation disappears, insecurity begins to surface, and a cycle begins. They seek admiration, feel satisfied for a short time, then start chasing it again, because no amount of praise can permanently fill an emotional void. It's like trying to quench your thirst with salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. That's why many narcissists spend their lives chasing power, beauty, success, fame, and influence. Not because these things truly make them happy, but because they temporarily quiet the insecurities hiding underneath. Part 3. Why narcissists seem so attractive. One of the biggest misconceptions about narcissists is that they're easy to identify. In reality, the opposite is often true. At first, many narcissists appear incredibly appealing. Research shows they often make excellent first impressions. They're confident, charismatic, entertaining. They know how to capture attention, how to tell compelling stories, how to make themselves seem extraordinary. And human beings are naturally drawn to confidence. Our brains often mistake confidence for competence, even when the two aren't actually connected. Because of this, many narcissists quickly rise in social circles, workplaces, and leadership positions. At first, people see their boldness as strength, but over time, cracks begin to appear. Conversations become one-sided, empathy becomes limited, criticism becomes difficult to accept, and relationships slowly start revolving around their needs. The same charm that once attracted people eventually starts draining them. Relationships begin to break down, not because the narcissist suddenly changed, but because people finally start seeing what's behind the mask. Part 4. The empathy problem. One of the most damaging aspects of narcissism is a lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and care about another person's emotions. Healthy relationships depend on it. Empathy creates trust, connection, compassion, and intimacy. But narcissists often struggle to prioritize the feelings of others. Their attention repeatedly returns to themselves. Most people can move that spotlight between themselves and others, but narcissists often keep it focused entirely on themselves. As a result, relationships can become transactional. People are valued based on what they provide: attention, admiration, status, validation. And when those benefits disappear, the relationship may start losing its importance. Friends, family members, and partners often feel unseen, ignored, and emotionally drained, because every human being has a deep desire to be understood, and narcissism often makes that understanding difficult. Part 5. Social Media and the Narcissism Trap. Now let's talk about something that didn't exist during the time of Narcissus: social media. For the first time in human history, millions of people carry a digital mirror in their pockets. Likes, followers, views, comments. Endless opportunities for validation. Of course, social media doesn't automatically turn someone into a narcissist, but it can certainly encourage narcissistic tendencies. Every notification becomes a small psychological reward. Every post becomes an opportunity for approval, and gradually, some people begin measuring their worth through the reactions of others. The danger isn't the technology itself. The danger is becoming dependent on it. Because the moment your identity depends on other people's responses, you begin losing control of your self-worth, and that's a dangerous way to live. The greatest irony of narcissism is this: a narcissist spends their entire life chasing admiration, believing that more attention will finally bring satisfaction. Yet the very behaviors that earn them admiration often destroy the relationships that create genuine happiness. Because human beings don't thrive on attention alone, we thrive on connection, trust, understanding, and the feeling that we are valued, not for our image, but for who we truly are. Perhaps that's the lesson hidden inside the story of Narcissus. The greatest danger isn't seeing yourself. The greatest danger is becoming so obsessed with your reflection that you stop seeing everyone else. Because real confidence doesn't come from proving you're better than others. It comes from no longer needing to prove it. And perhaps that's the difference between a strong ego and a healthy mind. One more lesson we can take from this story is that during the time of Narcissus, social media didn't exist, but in our world today, it does. That's why it's important not to let social media consume your life. Use it wisely, but don't let it define your worth. Focus on your goals, focus on your growth, focus on becoming a better version of yourself, not on constantly seeking validation from strangers online. So friends, if you shared this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Have you ever encountered a narcissist? Or have you ever noticed narcissistic traits within yourself? I'd love to hear your thoughts.